It all started with a song and a bold statement. HITTA J3, a name that's been buzzing heavy on both the West and East Coasts, didn't just want to rap about beef, he wanted to prove that he could back it up. After dropping a diss track aimed at none other than Joey Badass, the self-proclaimed king of New York, HITTA J3 did what most rappers only talk about in their lyrics. He jumped on a flight, laced up his boots, and went straight to the lion's den. And not just anywhere in New York. He went to the blocks, the corners, the neighborhoods that even locals tread carefully around. Before any of this happened, there were already talks about HITTA J3 being one of the most fearless up-and-coming names on the West Coast. The streets knew about him. The music was starting to take off. But something about that Joey Badass track made him decide that dropping bars wasn't enough. He needed to show face. He needed to move the way he's always said he would. So what does he do? He announces to the world that he's coming to New York, not just to visit, not just for the vibe, but to actually walk through the very places he's been name-dropping in his music. First stop, Southside Jamaica houses. That name alone sends shivers down some people's spines. That's not just a place in Queens, it's a landmark in hip-hop. History! 50 Cent came from there. Legends walk those streets. And here comes HITTA J3 fresh off a diss record, posting pictures from the middle of it like it's just another day. But he didn't stop there. He went from Southside to Brownsville, a neighborhood that even most New Yorkers don't casually stroll through. Then he hit up Queens and even posted up in Marcy, the same Marcy Projects that raised Jay-Z. These aren't tourist stops. These are real places where things happen. And he knew exactly what he was doing. What made this move even wilder wasn't just that he visited. Is that he dropped his location publicly. He didn't just post a pic from a nondescript street and keep it vague. He was specific. He tagged where he was. He announced it. He made sure people knew he wasn't just in New York. He was in the areas people told him not to step foot in. And when people asked when he was coming, he said, "Stay tuned, buddy. I'll be in the projects to be exact. Brooklyn and Queens to be exact." All of this came after he name-dropped the late Pop Smoke, one of the most beloved artists to come out of New York in recent years. That got a lot of people fired up. Fans weren't happy. People in Brooklyn started talking. But HITTA J3 stood on it. He said he respects Pop Smoke's music, but questioned what anyone was going to do about it. It was bold, almost reckless. But that's how he moves. And he proved that he's not just a keyboard gangster. He came in person. He stood on every word he said. And while all this was going on, Joey Badass was silent. Not a tweet, not a story, not a post. For all we know, he wasn't even in New York. Maybe he was out of town. Maybe he saw what was happening and didn't want to engage. Maybe he thought it wasn't worth the energy. Either way, HITTA J3 made sure to tell the world he was ready, just in case anyone wanted to respond in person. Some fans applauded him for being real. They said he proved he's about that life. Others said it was too much, that it's never that serious, that rap beef should stay in the booth and not spill into real streets where real things happen. But one thing everyone agreed on, it wasn't for show. HITTA J3 wasn't pulling a PR stunt. He wasn't going viral for clout. He was sending a message to anyone who doubted that he moves exactly how he raps. Even when people said this might be a setup or that he could get hurt, he didn't flinch. He said if anyone felt a way about what he said, they could easily find him. He was outside, and not just outside. He was welcoming conversation, welcoming confrontation, welcoming whatever came with the territory. And he wasn't rolling deep with security or some paid entourage. He was with a few people walking around, talking to locals, even stopping by the corner stores. There was a moment that really stood out when someone filming said, "Never thought I'd be in Marcy with HITTA." That line captured what a lot of people were thinking. This wasn't a typical visit. This was a moment that people were going to remember. Because whether you love him or hate him, HITTA J3 pulled up and did something that most rappers wouldn't dare to do. And yeah, let's talk about the elephant in the room, violence. No one's saying this should be the standard. No one's saying this is the blueprint for how beefs should be handled. But when someone shows up and does exactly what they said they would do, it makes people pay attention. He didn't hurt anyone. He didn't jump out with threats or drama. He just walked the walk. And that's why even people who don't condone the move still gave him respect for standing on business. A lot of rappers talk tough on the internet. They post captions, they tweet threats, they drop bars that sound aggressive but never back them up. HITTA J3 decided to break that mold, and in doing so, he forced a conversation. Not just about him, not just about Joey, but about what it means to really be authentic in the rap game. Music is still the main goal. That's what most people are hoping he focuses on, because the talent is there. But this moment made him stand out in a different way. In a world full of gimmicks, he gave people something that felt real, even if it was controversial. People are now asking, what's next? Will Joey respond? Will someone else from New York feel the need to say something? Or will this just be another wild chapter in a year full of rap chaos? Whatever happens, HITTA J3 has made it clear. He's not going to wait around for a reply. He's going to keep doing things his way, with or without approval. And love him or hate him, you can't say he's not fearless. He went into the belly of the beast, dropped his location, stood on his words, and walked away without a scratch. The game is changing. The lines between music and real life are getting blurrier every day. And HITTA J3 just reminded everyone that sometimes when someone says, "I'm outside," they really mean it. Whether this ends up being a career-defining moment or just another viral episode, only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, HITTA J3 just made sure his name is in every conversation about who's real and who's just rapping. And no matter what side you're on, that's something you can't ignore.